Hey everyone, Dylan here, and in this video I'm going to be doing step 3 of my 4-step to be healthy for anyone and also for blind people to help them as well. If you haven't, watch step 1 and 2 because they're all incorporated together. You're supposed to stack each one on top of each other. So make sure you do that before you watch this video. I am not a doctor. I am just a blind guy, a normal blind guy here to help you and make things simple and so you can get healthier and lose weight and all that. So talk to your doctor if you have any concerns. This is educational purposes and all that. So yeah, but step 3 gets a little more complicated, not too much, but we are going to be doing intermittent fasting in step 3. So, intermittent fasting simply is where you have a time that you are eating and a time that you are not eating. So, for instance, intermittent fasting means you're not eating anything. You have a window of time that you are eating. So, for someone who would start intermittent fasting, they would start with a 18-6. Or, not an 18-6, a 16-8. In whatever way you want to put it. But basically, for 8 hours, you can eat. Okay, so I'm going to put this in basically, say you start, you can start eating from 12 to 8 p.m. So 12 p.m. to 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. That is your 8-hour eating window. You can have your food, which should be healthy, by the way, like with step 1, and low carb with step 2 if you're doing that. And what you can do is you go 8 hours in that time period and you eat. And then for the next 16 hours, you eat nothing. You have nothing. It cannot. Now, you need to have water. You can still have water and liquids and stuff that doesn't have any calories in it or carbs or fats or any of that. You also need to make sure when you're doing this to get electrolytes in. When you're drinking water and electrolytes, you make sure you get your potassium, your magnesium, your sodium. Get all that in. When you're with your water, when you're fasting. But yeah, that's basically it. And I'm basically what this ends up doing, since you're not constantly eating over and over and over and spiking your insulin. Insulin, to make it short and simple, one of its functions is that it stores fat. Or like it stores energy, and it will store things as fat. So you're still going to be able to eat all your calories and food in that 8-hour window, don't worry. But for those 16 hours that you're not eating, your insulin is not constantly being spiked, so you're not constantly storing stuff. So it gives your body time to, chill out and use its own storage in the forms of like fat and other things to help you lose weight. And it also has a lot of other more like health benefits, but we're not going to worry about that too much. So what you can do, and like I said, this is stacked on top of step 1 and step 2. I guess you could, depending on where you're at, you could just do intermittent fasting. You could do step 1 and step 3 and not do step 2 if you're healthy enough and you've lost enough weight. You could probably do that. So like I said, adjust everything as necessary for you and where you want to be in your life. But yes, so what you would want to do is start with like I said, do 8 hours of eating and then 16 hours of fasting. Do not eat anything within those 16 hours. And then when you want to upgrade this, you would do 18 hours of fasting and 6 hours of eating. So you'd have 6 hours to eat your food, and then you have 18. This is kind of like the sweet spot, I think, for most people. It has a lot of power and it works really well. The next step, of course, is doing a 20-hour fast and having 4 hours. And now you're going to have less meals during this, of course. So you're going to have to make your meals bigger. So for most people, and for me, I stick around the 20-hour mark, 18 to 20 hours. So you would have 4 hours to eat and then 20 hours of fasting. I would typically have 2 meals within this 20 hours. You could have even 1 if you wanted, but I have 2. And then when you get really advanced with this, you need to build up to some of this. You could eventually do a 24-hour fast, a 36-hour fast, and even a 48-hour fast if you wanted. I did a couple 36-hour fasts to prepare myself before I ever attempted a 48-hour fast, but I've done 2 48-hour fasts. I don't do them very often, but it opened my eyes to, when you think you're really hungry, you're really not, because once I did that 48-hour fast, I wasn't even really that hungry during that 48-hour fast, and it really just showed me that we're not as hungry as we think we are. And so I think you could use those sparingly here and there just to kind of like reset your body, but they're not necessary. Doing just going up to the 18 hours of fasting and having 6 hours of eating, I think it's pretty good for most people. If you want, you could bump it up to the 20-hour fast every day, and you do this every day, by the way. This isn't, you only do it partially, you do it every single day. Okay, so that is basically the 3rd step, and you use the other 2 on top of this to make sure that each thing compounds each other to make this work better. So intermittent fasting is very powerful, it's very easy to do, and it's free. So this is another tool that you can use. As I said, to just start off, you can start off with just the 8 hours of eating and 16 hours of not eating, 16 hours of fasting. And like I said, remember you can still drink water, tea, coffee. Just make sure it has no sugar and no calories, and make sure to get your electrolytes. So this is a great way to also help you lose weight. And if you have any more questions about this one specifically, because it's a little bit more into the weeds of like science and all that, and medical, so if there's something you want to know, I can try to help you, but this is just the basics and all you really need to know about it. Honestly, you don't really need to know much else about it, but yeah, so if you have any questions, ask and all that. But yeah, this has been step 3 of my healthy eating to lose weight, and that is intermittent fasting. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. I will see you in the next video.